on? My name is Mike Hamel, and I'm a product specialist here at Alto Music in Middletown, New York. And today I'm going to tell you my gear story about my 2002 limited edition Warwick Bass. That was the very first purchase I made when I started working here at Alto Music. When I first started working here, I was working in the Wappinger store, and I was just starting to play bass in bands because if any guitar player or now bass player knows, no one plays bass in the local scene. At least it seems like that when you're starting to get going. So I had to start playing bass. And I started with basic stuff and, no pun intended, got some, better equipment as time went on. I got the amp, I got the other things, like great, hitting the stride. But I fell in love with this bass because I was seeing it on the back page of Bass Player magazine. They were highlighting it and it was just all over the place. It was a giant back page ad. And also back when Alto was still in the fairly early days, we didn't have like so many computers and emails, so we had clipboards, and this was a giant picture on the back of my clipboard. And I did the transfer to Middletown, like all noobs and Wappingers have to do at some point in time or another. And I went walking through the store, and it was hanging on the wall. 196 of 200 made. I wasn't going to see it again, so I had to put money on it and get it in my possession. And shortly after that, I paid it off because I couldn't stand to be without it. Took it home and played it to death just since. So it's been on every recording I've done, practically every gig I've played bass on in the past, 15, 18 years, and it's still holding up, despite all the, abuse that I've dished out to it. Kicking it across the stage, leaving it in the car overnight in the trailer, and it's still a beast. Gotta love it. But it is a 2002. It's a Corvette body style, so it's got this kind of like, double cut standard shape. But what they did back then that they don't really do now for the production line and the German production stuff is it still has the bell brass frets and it has their MEC electronics, which still comes standard. This is a Swirly Bubinga top. It's gorgeous and it hasn't faded over time. It just keeps getting more vivid, and as the light hits it, it just moves. Gotta love it. Walnut back. It's like wood porn all over. I don't know if I can say that, wood porn, but love the bass, and now that especially it's been played to death, it's like the neck is completely rounded out. It's one of the few instruments also that I haven't changed a thing on in the entire time that I've owned it. It's all stock. It's the original tuners, it's the original bridge, original pickups. You could even see like the lettering and everything is worn away and everything's rusted out. But it's, badges of honor. This thing's meant to be played. And yeah, and it has served me quite well in all that time. Love it. And Warwick Bass is just nothing really sounds like these things. You can always pick it out in a mix, whether it's, especially at the time I was into heavy stuff, and Mudvayne had just came out, and that fried me on it completely. I saw Ryan Martini playing, I was like, okay, I need that, and see kind of a common thread going with when I get into musicians. It's like, oh, I need that instrument. So, and it's not that heavy either. You can kind of tote it around, do what you need to with it. But yeah, sick bass. Sick story. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Ha!